At what point did you forgive yourself?
I think when I realized that, doing inner work and coming to the realization that, I had the surgery with every intention to become a better person, a better mother, a better wife, better friend. Uh, it's when I realized that I had to give myself, like I said, I had to give myself grace and say, Crystal, you're upset with yourself for something that you like. I didn't know I was gonna have a complication after the surgery. Like, I didn't plan on
Mhm.
it. This wasn't something. I wasn't out here like, oh, I'm gonna go out here and start doing drugs. It wasn't anything that I necessarily did. Um, to make me upset with myself. Yes, I had the surgery, but the complications and the fact that I realized I'm going to say this, my husband and I having a talk and me and being candid and open with him, letting him know like I felt like a burden. And him assuring me, like, no, you're not a burden. I love taking care of you. I love being here for you. That's when I realized, like, okay, well, maybe you could just be a little bit easier on yourself, girl. Maybe just
That's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man.
is he gets on my nerves sometimes, but you know what? He's been a huge support. He's been a huge support. And he really wasn't in the beginning. Like when I said I was gonna have surgery, he was like, nope, nope. What if something happens to you? I'm gonna be
Mhm.
here with all the kids. Like,
Mhm.
but and that's another thing is because I didn't have his support initially. I did not. So when you're going through this and you're truly alone, you know, it's hard when you don't have anybody to bounce things off of because um part of the work that I needed to do was also work on my marriage. Work on
Mm.
my marriage and work on communicating with my husband and him communicating with me and not being, once he wasn't the least bit of supportive. And I talk about, girl, when I say he was just like, yeah, I don't think you should have it. That to me in my mind was like, I'm against
I
it.
want
You're
you, yeah, I
Yeah.
want you to stay fat, you
Yeah.
know?
And,
It's like, "What you mean?"
and he didn't say that, but that's what I took it as.
That's
I was
what you
like,
heard, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so,
Mhm.
having the communication with him and, opening up our communication and with each other, and him just letting me know, like, it's okay. We're here to take care of you is when I realized, like, it's okay. You don't have to be angry at yourself anymore. You don't have to be upset for having the surgery because you want to have a better life. It's okay to kind of be selfish. Like, and that's what it was. Like, it's okay to have had the surgery because you wanted it for yourself because I was so used to doing things for everybody else, doing things for my children, doing things for my family, doing things for my husband. I wasn't doing anything for myself. And
Mhm.
then when I did decide to do something for myself, then I end up with 6 months of complication, you know?
Mhm.
So it took a lot of mental work, a lot of inner work to forgive myself for even feeling that way, for feeling upset and angry. Like, girl, you've gone through so much. You are this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And there's gonna be setbacks. There's going to be things that just aren't gonna go the way that you thought they would.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Girl, I'm gonna have to bring you back.
I would love to come back. I would love
About to
to
do
You
a
come
hitting
part
back.
on
one
so
and
much
part
stuff
two.
right now.
Yeah, you
I
are.
know, right? Cause yeah, the marriage piece, like that's a whole nother interview. But girl, it there's a reason why there's a high divorce rate.
Indeed. Indeed.
There's a reason why.
Let's talk about it.
He
Yeah.
always wants us to talk about it. When he say that, that means we're going on a tangent. But no, like I feel like on surface when you hear about that there's a high divorce rate, instantly you just like, oh, you want to upgrade, right? Lost that weight, now you don't want them. And that's like usually, from what I hear, that's the furthest from the truth. It's usually like what you hinted at. You are now a priority. You're now on that list that you have to kind of really stop and think about. And if you haven't done that in 5, 10, 15 years, your life has to readjust for you to be able to do that. And so that means the things you used to say yes to, you can't say yes to. And everyone don't like it when you say no. And now we got to have conversations. Yeah, we have to have conversations now. And it's not just boundaries with the outside. Now it's boundaries with someone that you sleep with next to every day. And it's like, you never had this kind of conversation before, but it's just like, you want to hang around? We're going to have to talk about it.
Right, right.
So I got a question. Do you think with talking about the 80% of divorce rates in the bariatric community post-op, do you feel like the first part of the question is it the women divorcing the men, or is it the men divorcing the women, or do you think it's 50-50 with that? That's the first question. I have a follow-up.
So honestly, I haven't done enough research in the data to figure out if it's like the women or the men, but I could see, and ladies, do not come for me, don't come for me. I could see how women could have an issue because of just the hormonal changes that you go through,
Mm-hmm.
the mood swings, the irritability, because I went through that. Like, I went
Mm-hmm.
through mood swings, irritability, don't touch me, don't look at me. What did you just say? I went through all that. My husband I pretty much beat him up. Like, not physically, but
Mm-hmm.
it was rough. And I could see how women we can go through, and I can only speak for one, as a woman. I don't know what kind of, changes men go through, but I can see how it could definitely cause a little issue, a little disconnect in a marriage. If your marriage, I'm not even going to say if your marriage isn't strong. Anybody who is, how I was very irritable. Because I was angry, and I would lash out
Mm-hmm.
and say, and not necessarily like say mean things, but I was just like very snappy, and I could see how that could wear down on somebody. That could definitely wear down on somebody. We just happen to have the type of relationship. He just happens to be one of those kind of guys that, like, whatever you say, he just like, he's real cool. He's real calm, kind of. So,
Yeah.
so he
Mm-hmm.
was able to like just, all right, she's just being crazy right now, and I was, but I could see how that, as a woman, that maybe the hormonal and emotional changes and mood swings could play a role in it. Now, also, I could see, like, now you got this body that you've been wanting to have for so long, and maybe your husband wasn't paying attention to you, or now that maybe he was paying attention to you, but you're getting a lot more attention from the world.
Now he jealous. He checking
Yeah.
my phone every day.
Mhm.
Because I was thinking, even for the point of with a woman, unfortunately, a lot of plus size women, we don't have self confidence.
Mhm.
And if you go have that surgery to get self confidence, you're going to be very disappointed.
Mhm.
And that's also like a reality that can affect the dynamic. Because if they're just like, I thought this was supposed to fix everything, you still say it. Now you gotta like not understand how to communicate that and work through those issues, because it's something a lot deeper than just weight.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think that's a lot of issues are blamed on weight. So when the weight is gone, they're expecting the issues to disappear.
Mm,
And that doesn't happen.
that's true.
Moment. Mic drop.
Mhm. Right.
What'd you think, Jesse?
My personal thoughts are when when we go through these changes, and fellas, I know y'all don't want to talk about it. I know y'all don't want to really open up about it. That's a problem with us as men. Like, we don't, it's hard to get a lot of men to talk about even having the process, right? I mean, the procedure. But our hormones are all over the place too. We at the exact same. I can't sit here and say, you're on the emotional roller coaster just because it's that time of the month when I'm like that all month right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is not normal for me. I have more up days than down, but even when I'm having a down day, I kind of make a joking point about it. Your relationship has been your relationship for a while, right? Even if you're new, you know your relationship, you know the dynamics of your relationship. One thing I'll say is, I feel like some people get a new body and get too much new attention that they're not used to, that their significant other is not providing to them. Um, and they leave. And I'll say this from experience, a long time ago, that happened to me. They didn't have the procedure, but they lost 150 pounds naturally. Naturally. And the words that they said was, I wasn't providing enough attention like they were getting. And that's always resonated in my head because that hurt me. That hurt. When I said that hurt me to the core, that hurt me to the core because I was like, I thought that I was giving you all the attention in the world. I'm giving you flowers and, we converse. I'm in college, we converse. We act like we've been dating for 20 years and, and we had a very good relationship. And when they lost the weight, that's what happened. Um, and it always stays in my head to never forget where you came from. So when I lose weight, I can't go walk out on my wife like that because I'm getting more attention. I got people saying comments to me today. That doesn't mean I'm gonna leave my wife. You get what I'm saying? Some people want to be outside when it ain't outside, ain't for everybody.
Right.
Outside is dangerous, people. You
It's
could get
dangerous.
snatched.
You know what I'm saying? The glitz and the glamour. But then when it starts raining, it gets muddy. They didn't ask for that, but that's a part of it. When people start criticizing you, when people start talking about you, people are gonna talk about you whether you're fat or you skinny. We all have one thing in common. We've all been big, right? I'm still big, but
You're on the way.
I have this family issues. I have issues right now that I know for a fact that I'm not gonna like. You know, I know that I have to get plastic surgery. I know that for a fact. They're gonna talk about me whether I'm big, whether I'm little, and you're gonna have people that you just gotta find your crowd. But as far as the relationship, I feel like people should mend their relationship, fix their relationship, instead of looking for newfound attention.
That, when you said that right there, I think also that people have to be real with themselves and honest with them to see where they are in the relationship, the healing that their relationship needs prior to surgery, because the surgery is not going to fix your marriage.
No.
You dropping down and maybe even just getting like, little Jessica Rabbit shape, that's not going to fix your marriage. You have to do the work, internally to get, and also together, um, for your marriage to sustain a marriage. And that's just period. Even if you've never lost weight, and you have to, marriage is work, relationships are work. I tell
It's
people,
a career.
yeah, I tell people all the time, listen, they're like, oh, how are you, you've been married for so long, how do you do it? I'm like, it's a constant job. You think, oh, well, you love this person, so that's just enough. No, it's not. The love is not
That
enough.
ended about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
For me to still be here, it took something extra than just love, honey.
Right, for sure.
When we were preparing, I did research and I saw a lot of people with the high divorce rates. And what really made me even look into it is because I'm in, like, the Facebook groups. And it was just one post and they were like, finalize my Bari divorce. And it was the first time I heard it, Bari divorce. And when I say that one post had like 65 women commented saying, congratulations, me too, girl, just finished. Like, I was just like, wait, these posts don't even have that many like interactions, and this one is like blowing up. Like, what is going on? So I had to like look into it, like, why is this a thing? But it was like Bari divorces are very common. And when I talked to my husband about it, I was like, it's time to lock in. Like, we've got counseling, we work together, we start like, this is not the time where we're gonna be like, we'll see. Nah, we need to be intentional with it, because I'll leave you with these kids. I'm not taking them.
I tell him that too. I'm like, I'll pay child support.
I will pay child support and see them every other weekend, honey. Okay? Easily.
That exactly. It's so important. Like, that's why I think that before anybody has the surgery or they decide to have weight loss surgery, that they really need to do some deep diving into themselves, some serious deep diving, because this journey, you see people who are happy who have lost 100 pounds, 150 pounds, 200 pounds, and you see on the outside their happiness because that's what they're showing you. You know, that's what social media shows you, but you don't see how they may be hurting or how their marriage might be falling apart or their friendships are falling apart, and how are they dealing with it. So it's important for you to do your internal work for yourself, because at the end of the day, yeah, I have my husband, I have my family and friends and stuff like that, but I'm by myself with my own thoughts, you know, by myself with my thoughts that are racing through my head sometimes, that, you know, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe this, you know. And if you're not doing the internal work, the inner work, then divorce, you know, loss of friendships, because I know a lot of people who have talked about they've lost friends. Um, it can happen. And honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't want to blame. I'm not gonna blame anybody for the divorce or why they had a divorce. But I think that you have to do your inner work. Got to figure it out, because this surgery is not going to save your marriage. It's not going to save your friendship.
Nope.
You know, I think that's a healthy thing to set boundaries, and I'm learning that now. I'm 40, 40, 43. Yeah, I had to think about it. I'm 43 years old.
You look good, girl.
And I'm just now setting boundaries, and my boundaries that I set can make other people feel uncomfortable, but that has nothing to do with me. Your comfort level has nothing to do with me. But you might be asking me may make me uncomfortable, and instead of me dealing with that, I'm gonna set boundaries and let you know. And I've set boundaries with family. And like you said, the 90-day thing, there's some family members who I haven't talked to in a long time because I don't want that energy. I'm dealing with my own.
Hey, now we getting into the meat and potatoes now.
I'm dealing with my own stuff. I don't want you to put that on me. I don't want unfair. You know what I'm saying? You just emotional.
People used to do as me being big. I started my journey at 510 pounds, right? So I was always the person that's going to listen and give you great advice. I'm always going to listen. I'm always a phone call away. I'm going to listen. But then guess what I had to start doing? When you call me and you just start going in and unpacking your luggage into I had to stop. Listen, stop. You got a system overload.
Right.
So when people start telling, they're like, oh, well, why? Because because I've listened enough. I don't want to hear about this, that, and the third. I want you to figure it out yourself. I want you to be independent because we're adults. Stop unpacking your luggage in my closet because this is my closet.
Especially when you know, like, this is the same conversation you're going to have 15 more times, because they ain't going to learn. They not going to change. And you're just like, you know what? We'll talk about this next week when you do the exact same thing. Like, I can't. Like, you're not growing. Like, it's one thing to kind of like help, help you grow a little bit. But if this is the bye. Bye.
Right.
Or to get something expedited. But when I say when things got aligned, when everything was aligned, everything changed. And this is before the weight loss. So now that we got a fine-tuned machine, it's like it's going to be very powerful now. So when I hear that about the 80% of people, it's like you weren't ready yet. Some people just are not ready yet. Some people still got some stuff they got to get out their system. And I ain't talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Some people still are doing it for the wrong reason. They're doing it for the kids. They're doing it for this. No, you got to do it for you. So we have to look at ourselves externally and internally. Are we really ready for what we say? Are we ready to have this surgery? Are we mentally ready? Now, do you doubt yourself? Absolutely. Absolutely. But me, as speaking for me, not for y'all, me, I didn't know what I was doing. When I had this surgery, I kept asking myself, am I going to mess up? I don't think I can do it. But that's your mind telling you something, because your mind also speaks another language to you, that food language. Go eat this and watch what happens. Your mind gonna laugh at you. Your mind is the naysayers. You get what I'm saying? But your fortitude and your determination, that's really gonna change it. And you change your own mind. You change the narrative, you change how your mind works, and you change how your mind thinks. So it's a lot of things that go into perspective with that. I'm sorry for going on a rant.
No, that's cool. I like, especially from a man. And honestly, I can say that a lot of men who have this surgery really don't talk about it. So
Wow.
it's I don't I don't know the experience. I mean, I've seen a couple on social media, but I know there's more men out here who are getting this surgery, weight loss surgery, or loss surgery, and I'm not sure why they just don't feel the need to talk about it. But it's nice to hear the perspective of a man who has dealt with being overweight, who's also gone through the process of having weight loss surgery and understands that things are going to change. And just hearing all of that, uh, I love it. I love hearing from the men who've had the surgery, because
He's a good co-host.
I mean, it's just it's nice to know that, or I'm not even gonna say nice. It's just like,
You don't even think about it. It's like, oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't like being big either. Like, I don't know why I thought
Right.
like most big guys like being big. I don't know,
Right.
but it's just like,
right.
oh, you had those mindsets too.
Yeah,
You
and
feel
I
like
get
that with being
tired.
big.
I used to have a saying, I keep you warm in the winter and shade in the summertime. Bro, that was a fat thing that I came up with. You know what I'm saying? I'm
You
gonna
made
keep you
fat
warm in the
sexy.
winter. Right. That was my punchline. That was my punchline.
Before you go, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this with someone walking their own path. Join the Facebook group and sign up at bariatricpaths.com to get all the details on upcoming events, support, and more. We're in this together. Go out there and crush it. This podcast is for support and inspiration only. It is not medical advice. Always talk to your doctor or care team about what's right for you.